GLG AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research and Guidepoint. An expert network is a structured research intermediary that connects institutional research teams with experienced industry professionals through compliant, time-bound consultations. Expert networks facilitate these consultations so institutional clients can obtain experience-based insight that complements desk research, public information, and quantitative analysis. Across institutional research environments, firms such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint operate within this expert network consultation model. Industry professionals are often contacted by these networks to participate in expert consultations. These conversations help institutional clients better understand industries, markets, technologies, and operational practices. But many professionals ask a simple question: how do you become an expert for an expert network? In this video, we explain how expert networks work, who can join an expert network, how experts are screened, and what professionals should expect before participating in expert consultations. What is an expert network? An expert network is a research intermediary that facilitates structured consultations between institutional clients and experienced industry practitioners. Institutional clients using expert networks typically include private equity firms, hedge funds, asset managers, strategy, consulting firms, corporate strategy teams, investment banks. These organizations use expert consultations as a form of primary research. Expert insight helps provide operational context that may not be available through public reports, financial statements, or market research databases. Expert networks coordinate these consultations while managing logistics, screening processes, and compliance frameworks. Within the global expert network industry, firms such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint are commonly referenced in institutional research environments. Although organizational scale may vary, these firms operate under a broadly similar expert consultation model. How expert networks work. Expert network engagements typically begin with a research request submitted by a client organization. The request usually describes the industry or market being analyzed, the type of professional experience required, the research topic or decision context. The expert network then searches its database for professionals whose background is relevant to the request. Potential experts are screened for relevance, independence, and compliance eligibility. Once an expert is identified and approved, the network coordinates a consultation. These consultations are usually conducted as one-to-one phone or video calls lasting between 30 and 60 minutes. The role of the expert network is administrative and operational rather than advisory. The network coordinates expert access, scheduling, and compliance reminders. The content of the conversation is driven by the client's questions and the expert's experience. Global expert networks such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint all operate within this structured consultation framework. Who can become an expert for an expert network? Expert networks typically work with professionals who have substantial, first-hand industry experience. Most experts fall into categories such as former executives, senior operators, functional leaders, technical specialists, procurement or supply chain professionals, industry consultants with deep operational knowledge. Institutional clients usually seek professionals who have direct experience making decisions or managing operations within an industry. Because of this requirement, expert networks generally prioritize professionals who have held positions with clear responsibility and industry exposure. Junior professionals, students, or individuals without direct operating experience are typically not approved for expert network participation. The expert network screening process. Joining an expert network involves a structured screening process. This process helps ensure that experts participating in consultations meet institutional expectations for credibility, compliance, and relevance. Screening typically includes a review of professional background, industry experience, career history, and responsibilities, potential conflicts of interest, compliance eligibility. Approval is discretionary and does not guarantee that an expert will receive consultation invitations. Expert networks maintain curated expert databases designed to match institutional research needs. Firms such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint apply screening procedures before approving experts for participation. Compliance and confidentiality requirements. Compliance is a central component of expert network operations. Experts must avoid sharing information that is confidential, proprietary, or restricted. This includes material non-public information, confidential employer data, strategic plans, or internal financial information subject to contractual restrictions. Before participating in consultations, experts are typically reminded of compliance requirements and asked to confirm that they will follow these guidelines. Institutional expert networks maintain compliance frameworks designed to align with regulatory expectations across financial markets and corporate environments. How experts participate in consultations. Expert participation in expert networks is invitation-based, rather than marketplace-driven. Experts do not browse projects or actively apply for consulting assignments. Instead, when a client submits a research request, the network identifies experts whose background appears relevant. Those professionals may then receive an invitation to participate in a consultation. Experts retain full discretion to accept or decline invitations. Consultations usually take place through phone or video calls and focus on specific research questions. The purpose of these discussions is to provide experience-based context rather than formal advisory recommendations. How experts are paid. Experts are compensated for completed consultations. Payment is typically structured as an hourly fee for the duration of the consultation. Rates vary depending on several factors, including industry specialization, expert seniority, demand for the expertise, geographic market. Consultations are project-specific engagements. Expert networks generally do not guarantee recurring engagements or minimum consultation volume. Participation should therefore be viewed as occasional involvement in institutional research rather than ongoing consulting work. Common reasons. Applications are rejected. Not all professionals who apply to expert networks are approved. Applications may be declined for several reasons, including limited seniority, insufficient direct industry experience, potential conflicts of interest, inability to meet compliance requirements. Rejection typically reflects alignment with institutional research needs rather than a judgment about professional capability. Expert networks maintain screening standards to ensure that participating experts meet client expectations. Frequently asked questions. How do you become an expert for an expert network? Professionals typically join expert networks by submitting their professional background or being invited based on their industry experience. After screening and compliance review, experts may be added to the network's database and contacted for consultations when relevant research requests arise. Who qualifies as an expert? Experts are generally professionals with significant operational experience within a specific industry or function. Institutional clients typically seek individuals who have direct exposure to real-world industry practices. Which expert networks operate globally? Within the global expert network industry, firms such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint are frequently referenced in institutional research environments. Final summary. In summary, an expert network is a structured research intermediary that facilitates consultations between institutional clients and experienced industry professionals. These consultations allow research teams to obtain practitioner insight that complements traditional research methods. Professionals become experts in expert networks through a selective screening process designed to ensure credibility, relevance, and compliance. Across the global expert network industry, firms such as GLG, AlphaSights, Third Bridge, Silverlight Research, and Guidepoint operate within this structured consultation model. The role of the expert network is to coordinate access, enforce compliance frameworks, and facilitate structured conversations between institutional research teams and industry practitioners. For experienced professionals with substantial operational expertise, participation in expert networks can provide an opportunity to contribute insight to institutional research while maintaining full discretion over when and how they participate.